folks, my name is Jimmy Ray Purser, and thanks for joining me for this edition of So What? Now, today's question from So What comes into a fellow Lebowski achiever, and his name is Steve, and Steve is from the Milwaukee area, right, kind of where I live right now. Steve says, Jimmy Ray, you know, I've noticed that you guys do some visualization. So what? Doesn't every product at least have some type of visualization? It's a really good question because really the bread and butter, if you actually go back to, network management platforms to like WhatsUp Gold and things of that nature, we've been drawing these connectivity lines, right, to show how things are connecting, and we've always had ways to show this out and actually hover over it, and you see more details, those type of things. And we do that, and we from the Illumio side of the house, we have that too. We call it illumination. And when you look at it first, you're like, so what? What's the big deal? Here's the big deal. When you're looking at it from a perspective is what it really amounts to, right? Inside, I'm shooting here in the Illumio office here in Sunnyvale. My viewpoint here is really what I'm seeing kind of behind the camera here, but the office is actually quite a bit bigger than that, right? So my vantage point, if I told you what this office looked like, well, it would look pretty darn small, a few desks behind me and stuff, right? The reality of it is there's a lot bigger picture, and so what we're showing you is a whole lot bigger picture. If you got your workloads out here, and these workloads all have a virtual enforcement node, right? Our agent, or what we call our VIN, installed on each and every one of these. And these VINs are communicating up via TLS to a policy compute engine. We'll just put PCE right here. And they're communicating up to this and telling that policy compute engine exactly what they are seeing from inbound connections and outbound connections on each of its devices. Then you start to build a map based upon exactly what you're actually seeing on each one of these workloads. You can even hear people clapping already. They're already that excited about it, right? Each one of these workloads is telling you each individual viewpoint, not a sampling, and not actually grabbing it from network metrics. It's completely independent of that. So the information you're getting is 100% accurate. That means that when you write a security policy on this, you can be assured you're not going to miss a darn thing, right? Because you're looking at exactly what that server, what that workload is actually showing on every one of those scenes. And that map, that image that you're seeing on there is fantastic for looking at your connectivity, seeing what's going on in real time, and building out this graph. And this is the real intellectual property of what makes the Illumio solution the biggest so what on the planet today, is that we track every one of, this is only 4 machines, right? And if you looked at 4, if you just took the network information n to n-1 amount of connections, that'd be quite a bit of connections, right? Now imagine that like 4,000, 10,000, 100,000 machines up here, and we're tracking the state, the individual connectivity from each one of these viewpoints. You can see some real power there, right? That is a real advantage. Hey folks, if you got any questions for me, why don't you go ahead and send me an email here on my lower third at sowhat@illumio.com. And if we use your question on the air, Patrick told me I could send you one of my favorite Illumio t-shirts. How cool is that, right? sowhat@illumio.com. I'll catch you guys next round.